Hello and welcome to Crypto Weeklies. In this video, we analyze Litecoin and its ticker LTC. None of the content financial advice. Right now, the composite risk for Litecoin per my website cryptoweeklies.com, link on the bottom of your screen. The composite risk is at 0.2. That means it's lower than 0.3, that is in between 0 and 0.3, that is in accumulation zone. The reason for covering this today is again looking at the current deviation between the price of Litecoin and the logarithmic deviation. Fair value based deviation points to the fact that right now, per the DK model that we just launched a couple of weeks ago, the price did find a support over here at $50 level. This is the polynomial regression based mathematically derived fair value of Litecoin, which is a non-linear estimation of a fair value, trying to attempt to cut the price action into two halves. The top half is overvalued zone, the bottom half is undervalued zone. So price did try to go to that undervalued zone in early February, drop below $50. Now the price has come back to almost at this weekly high at around $60. So where can the price go from here? The upper zone right now, so the overvaluation zone could take the rally of Litecoin close to $70, and if there is a support level to look for in the later half of 2026, where let's say the price does come cooling off and find some macro support is at around $32 at this point. That's the floor for Litecoin for 2026, unless there is a wider recession in macro environment. I believe again per this models, one standard deviation support like Litecoin enjoyed in August 2024 or even before the panic drop in 2022 would likely hold, because again you can see the slope of descent of the fair value has taken into consideration that lower high and lower low structure that lower high structure that Litecoin had in 2025, but you can see there is this higher low structure also in play. I am not saying that it cannot ever get broken. One could argue that it has gotten broken down in 2026, but fairly early on in 2026. By that what I mean is let's say if we draw these two lines over here, Litecoin at currently at around $55 level, this macro support line is already broken. This white line over here that provided support that got broken in January 2026. This is drawn from the 2018 drop. So even the 2022 drop had respected that ascending white line based support. This got this got again challenged in early 2026, and then again price action failed to maintain that support. So that is one area. That's why again if the price action were to break down to $32, that would still be considered per my interpretation of these models as a value opportunity for Litecoin. Again, not financial advice. The last time price found support in 2022 was at around $41. So a $32 Litecoin in 2026, if the opportunity permits, would be a lower low compared to even the 2022 bottom. Right now the price action is at around $55. Let's see what happens in the mid part of 2026, and then again right now at least the regression model is pointing to that level. The last model that we will be discussing is the time weighted average price model. Is per this model again through the gravity of time, not just looking at the current price but also since 2014, about 12 years worth of data pointing to the zone that again this is where the asset has spent its entire lifetime. That is essentially looking at the throughout the unlike just looking at a simple moving average, throughout sustained price action based shift, let's say a sustained uptrend taking the time weighted average price to a step function up, and then again one more time in 2021, and then essentially being flat as price action hovers around this white line. This is at around $72. Last time around at the bottom, the price versus the time weighted average price discount was 35%. The price was 35% lower than the time weighted average price. This time around in 2026, the difference has already gone to that 30% level. So if another drop over here in late 2026, price action might have another difference between the price and time weighted average price, like it did in 2018 at around 38% or 35%, maybe this time around slightly sharper drop, as the time weighted average price being slightly more at a higher valuation than, let's say, in 2018 the time weighted average price was $38, now it's at around $71. With that, I would like to conclude by saying both the regression model and the time weighted average price model is flashing that accumulation signal. But again, in the worst case scenario, the bear market bottom prediction for Litecoin as it stands today is again, worst case scenario is $45. That's where the slightly higher than the last bear market's last bear market's bottom at around $41. So as a confluence of all of these models, individual risk-based models, the worst case scenario is $45. But I would see that again, that regression model going to that $32 would be the ultimate worst case for Litecoin. With that caveat, hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give a like and subscribe, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.